Chronopunk, a novel, episode 4. This episode has one overarching theme, and that is romance. So we're explaining uh, how Mody and Lisa meet, and then also Mody's parents, Mounir and Simbi. So there's two sections in this episode, but they're both kind of similar in a sense that they try to explain a narrative of how these people meet, and I think that's really important in the context of this novel, but also in life, right? The context of this novel, I mean, we talked about this in previous episodes. Conception is a crucial idea in intergenerational time travel because, the way, a person's born, there's a certain trajectory, and it starts, and I think there's a line somewhere in one of the earlier chapters. It starts with a blink, with a look, with a smell, with a feeling, and then it ends up in conception. I mean, that's typically how it works: conception or sex or IVF or whatever it is. But it ends up in something like that. I mean, that's how humans reproduce, and that's an interesting concept. We call it love. Lots of people have written about it, poets and things. So what we're trying to do in this novel is give a narrative about this. So Mody and Lisa meet. Their paths cross in Sydney on Bondi Beach. Lisa is this unbelievably attractive girl that plays beach volleyball on Bondi Beach, and Mody picks up a ball, hands the ball to her, and that's where the spark started. That's where they met. There is another overarching theme in their story, and that is athletic excellence and academic excellence. So they're both very similar on that front. Like they both are high achievers when it comes to their endeavors, whether it's athletics or whether it's academics. In both cases, there's no second best for them. So that's just who they are, and I guess that's why they end up in the most important project that humanity has come up with in the 21st century. When it comes to Mody's parents, which is the other part of the episode, here the overarching theme is struggle. So they come from tough backgrounds. Mounir, Mody's father, is Moroccan. He grew up in the streets of Casablanca, but he also has this knack for academics. He comes to the US, he starts at community college, ends up at Berkeley, gets a PhD. He becomes a fighter, though. He's a fighter. So the fighting theme, again, very prevalent in this novel. And I guess I've mentioned this before, but the reason I chose MMA is because I'm in awe with the sport. I think it's more than just a sport. It's a lifestyle. It's a commitment towards excellence. It's a commitment towards continuous problem solving. Not that other sports don't have that, but because of the nature of fighting and the nature of particularly MMA, the action space is so wild, right? I mean, a quarterback in football has a very, very limited action space. Yes, you can innovate. Yes, Patrick Mahomes has shown to us that you can innovate and all that, and Tom Brady before, and so on and so forth, and Michael Jordan has done the same thing with basketball, but it's still relatively narrow compared to the really vast action space in MMA. And it starts with, it's not just the fight itself in the cage, it's all the preparation, the lifestyle, and all these things. So that's why we choose the sport, and I think it's a good metaphor for what these people are trying to do, which is eventually make the world a better place by moving everybody towards a more sustainable lifestyle that is comparable to the lifestyle of a successful MMA fighter. Now, Simbi, Mody's mother, she comes from the Bristol council estates, and there's the first connection also to music. Music's going to play an important part in this novel because, like sports, music is something that is on the one hand very important to the author, but I think it's a nice metaphor also for, it gives a feel for the person, it gives a feel for the place. So Simbi grows up, she's born in Nigeria, but she actually, she grows up in the Bristol Council estate during the times when the Bristol music system, or the Jamaican music system, is very prevalent there, and there's a bit of history, and that's going to permeate also throughout the novel, music history. So the history of the Jamaican music system in Bristol, which culminated in what was called trip hop, is that you have this mix of African beats and Jamaican reggae and just typical UK pop music turned into this interesting thing that was really big in the 90s with trip hop and then Massive Attack, Portishead, and Tricky being sort of the three big bands that came out of there. So Simbi grows up in that environment. Music's part of her life, but she then quickly turns, in her way, becomes a drug dealer and a bookmaker. So that's her life. She's a fighter, but not in the cage. She's a fighter on the streets, and that's where the episode ends. I think the stage is set for both Mody and Lisa in Sydney, where they meet, and for Mounir and Simbi, they haven't met yet. Actually, they haven't met yet, but there's a bit of a back and forth. The episode mentions them as parents already, but then goes back to the beginnings of Mounir and Simbi. And again, the stage is set. There's going to be more of these. I think the parents of people play an important role. This is definitely going to be a theme in this novel also going forward. And I think since this is a time travel novel, I think time, generations, roots play a big role. And I'm a big proponent of conveying feelings when it comes to novels. Feelings. I think the best novels are those that convey an intellectual concept into a feeling, because that's how we really remember it. Whether it's John Steinbeck in East of Eden, you can feel the place, you can feel the dirt of Salinas stirring up when the wind blows. You can feel the snow in Russia when you read Dr. Zhivago. Like that to me is novelistic excellence. And so what we're trying to do here is the same. That's why we're using these techniques like the music sounds, the Bristol sound system it's part of the feel. Like, think of this girl growing up around trip hop when it's being created in these open raves that are going on in the immigrant community in Bristol, and that girl grows up there. Like, that's a feeling that you need to take with you when you follow Simbi's path. So that's it's an important part of the novel. Hopefully it comes across. Again, feeling and situational descriptions, they're very highly intertwined, and I think the fundamental goal of this novel, or any novel in my opinion, should be to convey a certain feeling, and this is the beginning of that in the context of Chronopunk. Thank you.